A familiar component of the railway network is the track. In traditional designs, the rails of the track are supported by wooden or concrete beams, called sleepers, which in turn rest on crushed stone. This is called the ballast bed. There are also track structures without ballast. The most typical one is a slab track, where the ballast bed is replaced by a concrete plate or slab. Traditionally, rails are joined using metal fish plates and have a small gap between the rails. The gap gives the rails a possibility for expansion during hot weather. The gaps also introduce rail discontinuity, which is one of the main sources of track damage. Therefore, in modern tracks, the rails are continuously welded, which eliminates the gap and the rail discontinuity. The trains use the tracks to carry passengers or freight. Different types of trains are used for different purposes. Still, all the vehicles have the same common features. In a railway vehicle, the car body is supported by two bogies. Each bogie has two wheel sets, which are rigidly connected to an axle. All these elements are connected to each other by suspensions. Other familiar components of the railway network are stations and yards. Trains carry passengers from station to station where they can transfer to other means of transportation. Yards are arrangements of sidings used to store trains. Along the track, other parts of the railway network are found. Signals are a common system for controlling train movements. In general, they indicate whether a train may enter the section of track beyond the signal. Turnouts, also called switches, are the components of a railway network that guide trains from one track to another. The main parts of a turnout are the switch panel and the crossing panel. In the switching part, a pair of movable rails called blades or points can be shifted, which provides the switching possibilities. In the crossing panel, the two tracks intersect at one level. The rails are disconnected in the intersection point, enabling the wheel of the train to pass the two crossed rails. To bridge this gap, wing rails are mounted on each side of the intersecting portion of the two running rails. Level crossings are intersections where a railway line crosses a road or path at the same level. In order to provide passive protection, various types of warning signs can be placed in front of the crossing. The use of automatic warning devices, such as flashing lights, warning tones, and boom gates, are called active protection. Railway lines may also cross over or under roads and rivers using bridges, aqueducts, or tunnels. In order to reduce the weight of the track to be carried by the bridge, the rails are usually directly fastened to the bridge deck. Guardrails are placed along areas of restricted clearance. These rails keep the wheels of the train in alignment in case of derailment. This way, damage to the structure is minimized. These are the main components which form the railway network. The network transports people and freight between cities, harbors, and other hubs. Behind the railway network, a network of people and computers keeps everything running, making sure your train arrives on time.